Hey you, what is up? Why are you not as successful as you want to be right now? What's holding you back from getting and achieving the goals, if you even have goals, achieving the goals that you dreamt about when you were a child? Whatever those goals might be, there's one reason why you are not where you want to be. What's up? It's Dean Soto, and I wanted to share a story about somebody to illustrate a point as to why you might be stuck where you are right now and you can't seem to get to the next level. So, about, was this about 6 months ago? Maybe, no, not 6 months ago, 4 months ago. I started doing a lot of content, and maybe it was even longer than that. I don't know. Started doing a lot of content, and essentially every week, my videographer, amazing guy, started Rayo Media, RHEO Media LLC, and every week he would hound me on a Thursday at a specific point in time to be at a specific place to do a couple hours of content. Now, for me, I tend to be a natural introvert. I tend to not want to do content at all. Even doing this, what I'm doing right now, more of a talking head content, not the cinematic, really cool looking stuff that he does. The content that I'm doing right now with this, very hard to do. My brain's in telling me there's so many other things. I hear somebody cleaning off to the side over here. I'm in a place where it's not necessarily the ideal studio or anything like that. And my brain's just going a mile a minute of why this is a bad idea to even be filming this right now. And so with him, he would constantly, over and over and over, hound me to do content on those days. And one of the things that we did to kind of ease that whole sense of introversion, the whole shyness, was to have other people there asking questions. And these are guys who wanted to better themselves, they wanted to become entrepreneurs, wanted to become better at being a man, wanted to achieve greater things. And there was one guy in particular who was, when I first met him, he was very somber, kind of quiet, would ask a couple of questions about being an entrepreneur, about starting a business, about relationships, things like that. And you could even see his shoulders kind of hunched over as he's talking, just very low, very kind of shy, and so on and so forth. Well, over time, we kind of got to be friends. Every week he was there. We would have lunch. We would talk. He would ask questions. And he seemed to kind of come out of his shell a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more every week. Well, one day in particular, he started talking about his passion. And you could tell it was his passion. Why? Because as soon as we started talking about it, his shoulders went from in to out, or like kind of back, his chest sticking out, voice is louder, happier. You can almost see color coming back into his face. And his passion was poker. He was a professional poker player for a long time. Knew the ins and outs of poker, knew how to make it a living. Almost like if you've ever seen the movie Rounders, he had a very similar story to the main character of Rounders. Now, for me, when I saw that passion, as soon as I saw that passion, my brain said investment opportunity. My brain thought that here is a guy who I can tell absolutely loves this poker scene, this professional poker scene, and it is able to actually win. And because my mind immediately goes into investment, partially it was to make money, obviously, but also it was to invest in him, because I'm looking at him going, dude, you could be great. You could be an amazing, amazing guy, great at poker. I could literally see him on like the World Series of Poker and so on and so forth, right? So I'm getting super excited. He's getting super excited. He's telling me all of his past and what he plans on doing in the future with poker and everything like that. And I said, dude, I'm going to invest in you. I want to bless you. I want to also create a partnership where you win, I win, right? Super high risk, super high risk investment. Obviously, not necessarily the best type of investment. It could, with high risks sometimes come high rewards, right? But super high risk. But I just had this burning in my heart. I was just looking at him going, I can see you transforming your entire life, going after this dream, achieving this dream, and I get to be a part of it. How cool is that? And we both make money. We both get to have this dream come true, and I get to be a part of this. I love this idea. So the idea was I would invest a couple $1,000s into him. He would use that as a bankroll and also to live off of. He would use that as a bankroll to start playing poker professionally. And we would split the winnings in a specific percentage. I'm not going to share the percentages and stuff like that. It's an extremely fair percentage because I want things to last long term. And so he agreed. And I essentially said, look, let's do this for 3 months. The first month we'll test out and see how it goes. If things go well and if things seem to be progressing, then we will continue. And by progressing, it does not mean that progressing doesn't mean that if you lose, we stop. Progressing means, are we progressing towards the goal? Because obviously you're going to lose hands. You're going to lose money. When in any business that you start, you're going to lose money. It is what it is in the very beginning. And it is actually the consistency that brings you to that next level. So I told him, hey, 90 days, let's make a pact. Let's just see how this progresses. Every month, if things are looking good, we'll continue. Well, the first month, he won a few hands. He actually was up, I want to say he was up about $700, maybe $1,000 over a period of time. And so he said, I feel really confident. I'm going to go down to the City of Commerce down in LA. And they have a great poker table there. Everything's going to be, I'm going to be able to win a lot more money over there. So he goes down, and the unfortunate thing was that he lost big time. He lost, I want to say he lost about half of his bankroll, which in reality is not that big of a deal. Because half of his bankroll, that was just the first month, right? Really, reality, not that big of a deal. And the thing that went through my mind was, okay, well, we have the next month. Let's just figure out what's going to go on and so on. But he went dark. He went totally dark on me. I was like, okay, what's going on here, dude, or whatever. And it was only for like a couple of days, maybe a day or two. But I could just feel it. I can feel the reason why you and the reason why he is stuck where he's at, not achieving his dream. And why do you think that is? Well, we finally talk. And because he lost, he went down into the dumps. He reverted to some bad habits that he had before and essentially felt defeated. He was completely just felt defeated. He felt bad that he lost the money that I invested in him. We talked and I said, dude, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me really is that you went dark on me, that you gave up. You started going back to these old habits. That's what bothers me. Not necessarily, dude, if you come, and I told him, if you come to me and you tell me I lost half of the winnings, I would say, okay, well, that's what happens when we invest. So we keep on going. This month we lick our wounds, and then next month you'll have the next part of the bankroll. We use that and make things happen, right? Not a big deal. And this is thousands of dollars, okay? But he went dark. He had 2 more months of 2 sets of thousands of dollars. He had 2 more payouts of thousands of dollars that I was going to give him to invest, and he can live off it and so on. But he gave up on that first month. And this is why he's stuck where he is. This is why you're stuck where you are, because you give up. Give up on yourself. You project, if somebody else is pushing you and helping you or whatever, you project what you think they want you to do, or that they're going to be disappointed. You go into old habits of drinking, of drugs, or whatever. I'm not saying he did any of those. I'm not telling you what habits he had, but he went back to these habits. You go back to those habits. I go back to those habits, or at least I used to. This is why you are where you are, because you give up on yourself and you don't continue to push forward. You close in shame, you close up. You don't tell anybody what's going on. You assume that they're going to be mad at you, or you assume that if you tell the truth or you are honest with yourself, that things are going to go bad. It is a staple of successful people that when you get punched in the face, you step back, you wipe off the blood, and you keep on going. You keep on fighting. There are times where I could barely make my mortgage. I had to sell my wife's car. I had to do things that the average person did not have to do. But because of that, the success that was achieved is something that the average person couldn't even comprehend. And so he gave up. And I gave him one last chance, and I said, look, part of what's going on with you is your relationship. There is a course that I want you to take. And if you take it, we'll continue. If you don't, we won't. And it's a course that didn't seem like the course that he was looking for, that he thought would solve his problems, but I had already taken it. It had solved my problems, and it did not look like what you expect it to be. And he refused to take it. He had half of the investment money that I had, still thousands of dollars. Could have spent 700 of those dollars on this course that I had paid him essentially to take, and he refused to. And with that, he gave up on his dream. He gave up on our partnership, gave up on 2 more months of several $1,000s. It would have been 5 figures. And he gave up ultimately on himself, his kid, his partner. And that is what happens to each one of us. You have to fight. You have to fight constantly for your goals, for your dreams. Nobody else will do it. Nobody else is going to wake up, pull you out of bed, and help you and force you to start living your dreams. You're going to get punched in the face. Every single UFC fighter, that Conor McGregor, Khabib, Khamzat Chimaev, all these fighters, no matter how good they are, they can be the absolute best. Khabib is the best UFC fighter literally of all time, and yet he gets punched in the face. He gets hurt. He almost gets knocked out. And what does he do? He keeps getting up and fighting back. You will always get punched in the face. Even to this day, I get punched in the face in my business. I get punched in the face in my relationship with my wife. I get punched in the face in my relationship with my kid. I get all of it. But it's up to me to decide to keep going and growing. And that's what I want for you. And you can do it. You can do it. Surround yourself with people who are ahead of you. Listen to what they say. Move forward constantly. And you will get out of the average place or the place that you're currently stuck in. And you will achieve your dream. But once you achieve it, you will still get punched in the face as you start striving for your next goal. All right. Dean Soto, love you. Go check out ProStolum.com, freedomin5minutes.com, and I'll see you in the next video.